How we doing, sports fans? It's Jim once again for another edition of the 3 Minute AD number 32. Board's gone wild. And really what I'm meaning here is school boards have gone wild. There's ADs that are losing their jobs because of rogue school boards. And there's different reasons. I mean, I know tenure is a wonderful thing to get there, but the 4 years to get there doesn't necessarily guarantee you that you're going to have a smooth path to get to that end game. So this is just general advice to people out there that want to be ADs. We know that it's scaring a lot of us away, or a lot of people away from applying for these jobs, basically because why should they have the aggravation? Why should they leave teaching and give up coaching in order to get beat up and spend every day at the school? Saturdays and Sundays too. Don't forget those. So this is just a little bit of advice for the new AD. And, we do have our new AD conference coming up in August. For those that are into the job, we still have our aspiring AD program, which we're going to be adjusting a little bit, because I think the big thing here is when you go into this job, you're going to see a lot of things that are wrong. Not every AD that retires tees it up for you. And that's just normal. I didn't tee it up necessarily for the guy that took my place. He's doing a great job, as I've said a couple of times, in what he wants to do. But he didn't have to make any dramatic changes when he walked into the job. There were things that he wanted to do that were more superficial changes in the look and the branding, and it really came out great. But if you're making major changes in process that are going to affect how people think, check yourself before you do that. You can always wait a year or two and assess it. You have to do better at assessing the landscape before you can move into something as radical as changing a policy or changing a program or changing something that happens in the past. The second thing is discussing disciplinary items with your superintendent, things that affect board members, who's connected to who. You have to learn what the landscape is. We are still at the behest of the superintendent of schools, who is at the behest of the Board of Education. You can watch boards that are lunatics, and I will be straight up, and I would have no problem going to their board meeting and telling them that they're lunatics. We just saw a board member finally get voted out of a school district who was, I mean, I'll say it straight, she was a cancer. She was one who wanted to lambast board members in public, extol the virtues of people that didn't need the extolling, trash administrators left and right, trash teachers. This is not productive and not what a board member should be. But again, some boards are fantastic. I'd say the majority of them are fantastic and really want to work with you. But as well as I do, when you're going for a job, you've got to look at not just the community, but the board to see who's the player, who's the one connected, who's the one calling the shots. How many sport parents are on the board? My first year I walked in, I had 6 sport parents. They wanted coaches fired, this and that. We were able to weather the storm there because the prior AD was able to smooth things out a little bit, the interim that was there. But, we're in a world now where there's whims, and kids will say and do things that never would have gone 15, 20 years ago, but we're in the land of yes. So we have to do a better job of assessing the landscape when we get in. If you're listening to this and you're a non-tenured athletic director, or you're in a contractual position where you go year by year, please, please don't go out and try to reinvent the wheel. Drive the truck first, see if all the wheels turn the right way. If they're all rolling and you're going at a pretty smooth pace, you can put your mark on it any time, but you don't have to make your mark on day one. If you're given a directive to make your mark on day one from the superintendent or your supervisor, the board can't give you directives, they have to go through here, but find out where it came from and see how it's going to affect everyone else, because you still have to maintain those relationships with your coaching staff and your teaching staff. So I know this went a little out today, but guys, there's a few ADs in this state that have lost their jobs this year. And it's for a lot of different reasons. The last one I'll say to you is you've got to be visible. I know you've got kids. I know you've got games to go to. I know you've got all those other things, but you've got to sacrifice something for it. And if you don't want to sacrifice, that part of it, then don't do the job. I'm sorry. It'll come back to you in many, many ways if you're able to sacrifice just a little bit right now. But the onus has to be on you to remember you're supporting your family. This is the way you chose to support your family, by sacrificing some time with them. I know it's horrible, and I'm not saying you should be like me at all. My children were older when I took the job, but it's still, I sacrificed quite a bit to get through, just to get to tenure, as a matter of fact. And it'll be made up for later. You know, I got to see her when she played in college, and I get to see the little one all the time. So I just wish you the best on this, guys. And for those that are out of a job and looking for a job, there's a lot of openings, and we're back to musical chairs again. There are not enough interims out to cover, because not a lot of us want to go back in and get our tails kicked for money. You know, the money's good for an interim. Trust me, the money is very good for an interim. But maybe it's not worth it to some. But there's a lot of jobs open out there, and there's going to be a lot of shuffling of the deck going forward. So musical chairs, like it was in 2000, there's more chairs than players right now. So you want to be an AD, it's good. If you're in the job right now and you're not tenured, keep that job. It gets better. Trust me, it gets better. And when it doesn't get better, you have to look at yourself and say, am I part of the reason why it didn't get better? Or am I going to blame everybody else? Just do your job. We've got it on the back of every team shirt, DYJ. Just do your job. But if you need help, the NYS AAA is here for you. You know, we have a cadre of mentors that can help you and get you through. So if you're thinking of making a change or changing a decision or something like that, call us first and we can help. I know this is a lot longer than 3 minutes, but it is so important, especially at the end of the year this year, with what we're hearing about how ADs are being treated. We got to continue to get that credibility back, and we're working at it right now with the state of New York on certification. We are still we're still pushing these things. So, you know, boards have gone crazy. Let's just do our jobs. All right, guys. So Jim, on behalf of the 3 Minute AD, please like and subscribe so you can get alerts whenever we pop these up. I'm happy to talk to anyone anytime when they want to throw some things at the wall and see if they stick. So God bless you all. Have a great rest of the spring. And as we get closer to the summer, enjoy the summer. And if you want to sign up for that new AD conference, please just go to our website and sign up. God bless you all. Have a great day.